First and last name.
My name is Jay Johnson.
Where are you from, Jay?
I'm from Missouri, St. Louis.
All right, so thank you for being a part of the project. All these last few days, we've been talking about a lot. So I want to talk about heritage first. What memories do you honor about where you come from? Heritage, upbringing, what do you honor?
One of the main things brought up within my heritage of my culture and my family was this love for music. My mom immediately put me into violin, and a lot of the memories I have going forward in elementary school and middle school have been playing the violin, doing music, listening to music on Sundays, on cleaning day, and just going around the house loving music. Even if we were in trouble, we would still have music blasting through the walls. So.
What would y'all play?
Oh Lord, a whole lot of church music, a whole lot of spiritual music, a whole lot of literally anything. Kirk Franklin all the way down to Anita Baker, so on. Yeah, we did. We listened to everything.
What's the story behind the violin?
I started playing the violin when I was in fifth grade. There were a lot of times that I really did not want to play the violin. Learning music was incredibly difficult, but I am glad to have had that experience. So it has become a part of my heritage, even though I didn't take it with me. The music that I learned from it has been, I've taken with me and is translated to now playing the piano, has translated to my poetry, has translated to each and every instrument that I now play. It's all because I started with the piano or the violin.
What about the Johnson? Tell me the story of the Johnson.
The story of this artifact is that I've been military pretty much my entire life. My dad was military, his dad was military. On my mom's side, her dad was military. And military has always been part of my family, has been our way to escape from where we were. They were all, I believe, enlisted. And yet it came full circle to where, back to where our hometown was of Missouri, St. Louis. I have traveled all the way down here to San Diego on a full ride scholarship with the military, and since then has been an incredible time and an incredible journey. But I kept this because, as you can see from the name put on here, this is an Air Force tag. It kind of symbolizes like the entrapment per se of having Johnson be committed fully to the military. And I recently took a step back from the military, and I'm trying to write my own path going forward, as to not follow the full cycle that they went through as well. So this is a symbol of both my freedom and my entrapment with the military. I hope not to bring forth to my children.
And then wrapping up this heritage conversation, who do you carry forth with you, and what lessons have they taught you?
The person that I carry with me as I go along through my journey, most of all, is my father. He's been the most impactful in my life, rather forcefully, but he has implemented in me a lot of the lessons and values that I've learned throughout all of my time, throughout college, throughout my years through COVID, and carry it with me so much more. He's probably the most proud person on the face of the planet. Every time he sees me, he can't help but say it. I still feel like I have so much more to prove. I have so much more to do. I have so much more things to say and really drive it in that I can be this successful person. And he's just proud that I even got to this part. I couldn't have done it without him at all. He's been to each and every single thing that I have ever done in my entire life. And yeah, that's what I take with me.
We're going to move on to the segment of healing. So a lot has been going on since 2020. And I want to ask you, what do you want to remember about your life, American life, since the pandemic, since 2020?
Well, if we take a look at this picture here, this artifact of mine is a picture of when I first came to the University of San Diego. If you notice, we're all wearing masks in the picture. This is something that really stuck with me, because the idea that we could all be at school where no one was, and yet everyone still had to wear masks, was something that was really, it wasn't blatantly obvious that we were in the middle of a pandemic until we were in the middle of a pandemic. So just the idea that this could even happen and still try to journey through my college life, still try to journey through now being alone, still trying to journey through each and everything that I went through during that time is something that going forward is going to be a place of healing, to know that I was going through something that I thought, that many people thought to be impossible. And now getting through it and moving past it, I am now taking the reins and I'm starting to do the impossible for myself.
Was there anything, any stories of myths that died since the pandemic, or has anything come to life for you?
Myths that have died for me was the idea that I have to do everything alone. When it came to my college life, I had so many supporters and so many people that wanted me to succeed so much and so often that reaching out and asking for help became easier and easier as time went on. I was convinced that I was gonna drop the military scholarship. I was convinced that a bunch of things were gonna start happening to me, and yet each and every step of the way, there was always someone there to help out that I reached out to. And now moving forward, I know and I realize with all the friends that I have around me that I can talk to, I can ask for help, I can reach out, and I don't have to be alone when I start my adult journey.
Okay, so now we come to the end where we're looking towards the future. So in about 3 years, the country will celebrate its 250th anniversary. And I want to ask you, what letter are you writing to future generations about your story? What do you want to be remembered by? How are you changing the narrative?
I'll read my letter. I want to be remembered by my ingenuity in any circumstance. I want to be remembered by my perpetuity in any chance. I want to be remembered by my poetry, to be remembered when you hear mine like you knew me and now you're knowing me. I have a creative mind, but in my time I didn't think it was creative, it was just mine. I left behind the time that I was suffering. I put forth the strength that I am buffering, and I am born anew. No longer am I just Jay because I have a crown to wear. Now King Jay looks on despair with his chin up in the air as I create a legacy to be remembered by. I guess I'm just that guy. Stay royal, King Jay.
So what is the poem that you're introducing today?
This poem that I'm introducing is called Sniping Distance.
Why?
This is the first poem I ever made and performed, speaking about different parts of my life and attempting to inspire myself and others that all goals are achievable. Sniping Distance. I never like lies, but I see constant fiction. Black lives matter, but it's constant tension. Black people on one side counting percentages, all lives on the other bending their benefits. To me, they're living in contradictions, talking circles back and forth, pendulum victims. Picasso painting their lives like it was true depictions, not knowing that what oppresses us is just the system. But I know that the real judge is indifferent. Maybe what I write won't even make a difference. But me speaking words now is how we make things different. If only people use their minds and common senses. But if they did, I wouldn't be making you confused about what my message is. Acting like it's a talent to write up a puzzle piece of sentences, hoping that in between the lines, you'll get secret messages. Maybe I'll go for president. I know my mind is different. I know that's a tough goal, but to me, it's just a common mission. And I know they'll try to get me off my rhythm like heart conditions, but I'm a target too far away. It's hard to hit them. And I know this sounds crazy, but try to listen. My goals seem like they're far, but that's sniping distance. So when I'm locked in and none of you are paying attention, boom, when I shoot for my goals, they'll look like helpless victims. I lived in the desert, military father, I'm used to harsh conditions. Heat stress put up a mental image that I was afraid of my future. Now I'm used to having visions, because now I have my true ambition. I may be a poet at heart, but that don't mean I don't make no hard decisions. We have been in many bad positions. We have made many bad decisions, but I was born to be the mad tactician because chess was already in the family tradition, but I ain't nothing special. My parents were. I'm just carrying some. I inherited their character and carried the one. I subtracted the fear and I started to run. I added a crown when I got to the front. I looked around and no one was there. So I guess I'm not done. I'm working hard through college. I'm doing my best. Hold my cards, keep my head down, play a little chess. Here's the thing, I'm a mountain, so you won't see me ever rest. To keep it real and sum it up, I haven't hit my peak yet. It's King J.